Alright, time to read the comments. The Dukes. Do you mean the Jukes? What a coincidence. I also died to a group today while gathering. I kept watching my video and noticed I was close to a war chest. And I have a tap on it. Is it possible to put stuff in while you're getting hit? I'm not sure about that. I know that it's possible to get rid of items that you have equipped while you're getting hit by people. But I don't know if you can put things into a chest if you are getting attacked. It may be possible though. And it's pretty easy to test it, I guess. Oh, this was such an action-packed one. Hilarious with the countdown and the jukes, but brutal at the end, yeah. I feel maybe if you continued on the map and didn't turn back around, maybe you had a chance, but who knows. Hard to say. So many groups out in those few adjacent maps. Weird. It's not that weird. These maps are all tier 7 and tier 8. There are a lot of groups because these maps are just really good. Many of your solo gathering are more peaceful than this. I felt like you couldn't catch a break a lot of the time this around. Yeah, it was a lot of action in that one. See, he must be using ESP hack, Benji said. Yeah, because I predicted the gank. Swole Benji is a PvE edgelord. Amazing, I love how you express your thoughts as you think them. Allows us to enter your mind and think like you. No problem. PS, the ending was just grimy. I don't know what's so fun about being in a group of 20 punching on one guy. Well, you just have to punch that one guy, otherwise he's not going to die and not going to give you his items. The helmet works with Whispering Bow. What helmet was I using there? The Guardian helmet, probably. I was using that one just for the random utility, so I can mount up anytime and can cleanse the damage over time effect from the bots, from those spinning bots. Alright, thanks for always taking the time to read and answer every comment, no problem. Do you enjoy playing Corrupted? If yes, wanna see some of your footages. I did upload a lot of Corrupted, well, not a lot, but some. There's not that little Corrupted stuff, but it of course was without commentary. I don't enjoy Corrupted that insanely much. I'm probably not going to do much Corrupted in the future. 3630. It's not a little bit, it's a lot. I saw my gathering yield daily and I saw the price dipping each and every day. Now it's stable again, but a much lower value than before. But for tiers 6, 7 and 8 that are 0.2, 0.3, it actually has better prices nowadays. Only flat 6, flat 7, flat 6.1 prices are suffering. Well, yeah, the prices are really suffering right now. I think there was a huge group of people who did market flipping a few months ago. As tier 3 high market prices went up to 500, 600, which is crazy. It went down slow too, as if it was still as expensive as tier 4 hide for a few weeks. It was a great time to start speccing hide, whilst other mid-high resources are dropping in prices. I really don't pay too much attention to all that market flipping stuff and so on. I only notice the prices dropping and rising because I constantly check if these resources are worth gathering or not, considering the profit per time when I'm gathering. I think you should be able to use translate to make subtitles or different languages, not sure. Also, my comment from the video, yes, this zone had all tier 8 chests, though not sure if those change ever. The levels on the chest never change, also not for the dungeons. They all stay the same the whole time. In the Roads of Avalon, yeah, it's possible to use translate for making subtitles, but it's terrible. It doesn't work well. It is just wrong when you use that. Hey, Apple Cheese, sorry about that death. You don't have to be sorry about deaths. That's this game. This is Albion. This is not some, I don't know, PvE game. It's why I hate gankers. I don't hate gankers, and you also shouldn't. If you hate gankers, then you should not play this game. But I found a trick, at least on mobile. If you exit the game, don't close, just exit while zoning, it seems to put you on standby. If you think you're gonna die indefinitely, just wait 30 seconds, open game, back up, and that should give enough time to zone back and get shield again. It's possible that this works, but this is really not, the way to go. Cheating in the game to basically get invulnerable again, not really the way to go. That's exactly how you get reported. Yeah, and for good reason. Very humble and takes his time explaining his thoughts and reasoning. I like him as a person, but you don't know me as a person. And it makes me want to be as explanatory. Edit. Hey, you were reading some comments like they are directed at you. People are replying to each other and it looks like you got offended from some. I they were replying to each other, but that guy was shooting shots at me. So don't worry, I understood very well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure there's a description on one-handed curse that curse E that the spell damage can't be reflected. Yeah, that's possible, and I also believe that. But this does. Oh wait, it does matter because I didn't want to use the E against the green health reflect shield of the guy. I see. But it would not have mattered in this situation because these guys always were just able to run away from us. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, true. In that case, I wouldn't have needed to worry about getting the reflect damage from my crazy E. Love your videos, including gathering and other videos. Thank you. I'm the Erix guy. This video is from 1 month ago. No, more like 2 weeks. 1080p. When? I actually just checked and I was confused because some of my videos had 1080p and some of my videos had 720. When I edited things in DaVinci Resolve, it automatically put the videos to 1080p. And if I didn't, it was on 720p because I simply don't have a 1080p resolution. But I changed a few things and now all the videos in the future will be on 1080p, even though I'm actually not playing on 1080p. 360 is enough for people who have terrible Wi-Fi connection. He said too boring. My heart will be pumping so fast when I do those. Do you mean when you do group dungeons? Because after a while, this is not that exciting anymore. But I have done a lot of group dungeons, like the blue static dungeons in the Roads of Avalon, because those actually give loot. The normal ones are terrible. But after a while, it's just boring. Seems to me gaining levels for gathering is more important than the losses. Buying tomes is pretty expensive. What? Having enough silver for everything that you want to do and premium is the most important thing, and if you have more than that, then you can spend silver on anything. That's how I see it. He needs to gain money too. How can he gather and level up his levels if he's bleeding silver? You can't just go broke if you want to gather and farm. Yeah, you should not go broke. You should have enough silver so you can do everything that you want to do. It's a long-term investment, but it is good to have balance between investing and not losing so much silver. I want my tools to be tier 8. I'm walking past purple resources. Well, yeah, that sounds unlucky. Since you don't have auto learn always enabled, what's your criterion to turn it on or off? I just want to have enough learn points so I can always auto learn tier 7 and tier 8 resources, the gathering of tier 7 and tier 8 resources. And if I feel like I don't have enough learn points for that, if I keep my tier 6 resources on auto learn, then I will turn them off. And if I think I have enough, then I will turn them on. Why are we no longer having Avalonian roads? Because the Avalonian roads are garbage. I get zero money from the Avalonian roads, even if I'm being lucky in them. That's why I'm not gathering there. 440 days of premium. Send me silver for just 1 month. Cheers. No. Don't you know that nobody likes people who beg for stuff instead of working for it? I guess you forgot to eat the pork pie before taking the hyena 6.1. Luckily you remembered to eat the pork pie even though it's a bit late. Yeah, it was kinda sad, but it's not such a huge loss either. Nice video, I really enjoy it. I have one simple question. Do you sell these resources directly in the market? Yes. Ooh, let's see what Google Translate says about this. Russian, it seems like, and it's always automatically on German. Good videos, I enjoy watching it. I will wait for new videos. Keep it up. Thank you. Awesome raw footage. Very nice ganking squad, and the Panther strategy of speeding up and trapping them in is just very cool to see. Thank you. In my stats, it says I have a total fame of 250 million, but I swear I think I have way more than that. Thus, fame from fame credit and tome of knowledge not included in this calculation? Nope. Tomes of insight doesn't count. Fame credit earned by Fame Farm mod with your item level above 100 fame credit will count for more fame. This is true. Always, like everything counts as fame for your statistics, except these weird fame books. They don't count. Tome of knowledge in your stat don't have fame. This is pretty chill video. Hi, please can you do some PvP bloodletter? Sure. PvE, PvP bloodletter. Well, I don't know if I will find PvP situations because I don't want to randomly suicide, of course. Great work. Thank you. Wolfganker always waiting for you on Timber Slope Bridge. Well, yeah. Timber Slope Bridge is a good map for ganking. Someone has most likely asked this before, but why don't you use bait when fishing? Because I don't want to tap into my inventory every like 2 or 3 minutes and equip the bait, eat the bait, and then equip my invisibility potion again. Fishing is extremely dangerous. You always have to look at the border of your screen for names. And if you constantly tap into your inventory to do random stuff, then that can kill you. And also it's kind of annoying to do it, of course. It takes a potion slot and having to switch it every now and then for bait, blah blah, is risky, yeah. It's also expensive. I don't know how expensive it is. It's not insanely expensive, but there's also the thing that I like to move around a lot. And when I move around a lot and find these fishing ponds, I don't need baits. Their baits are just wasted. Baits are only really useful when you don't have fishing ponds. Also expensive tier 5 base or higher, it's much faster, yes, but it only good used if you AFK in one place without that fishing pool. Yes, exactly. Huge difference from the previous map, fishing map. Do you mean the tier 7 swamp? Do you mean the tier 8 swamp? Or the other tier 8 maps that I've tried before going to the tier 8 forest? I don't exactly know what you mean. Very unfortunate that you died in the end. That can happen. But it was really not a big problem in this run because we made so much money beforehand. I really appreciated that you put all these timestamps in your videos. Keep up the good work. Thanks. For the healing debuff, he should heal someone else. He should have healed you to remove the debuff. Does the healing debuff really go away if he heals somebody else? Would be really lame if that was the case. I hope it's not the case, to be honest. But it's really easy to test it as well. Oh, love all your uncut series. Thanks. Fun PvP. Yeah, there was some fun PvP. That was a great 2v6. Yep. F. Yep. At 3220, you check for the red exclamation mark. Does this mean this mechanism will indicate invisible players too? Yes. It also shows up when there are invisible people. Something in German. Danke für deine Tipps. T3-Pferd ist übrigens für einen Black Zone-Anfänger wie mich perfekt. Und wenn ich umgehauen werde, dann tut's finanziell kaum weh. Leider gehen meine Tier 6 Werkzeuge auch den Bach runter. Das ist deutlich schmerzhafter. This means in English, thanks for the tips. The tier 3 horse is, by the way, perfect for Black Zone beginner like me. And when I get killed, then it doesn't hurt financially. Sadly, my tier 6 tools also get lost. That's more painful. Well, the thing is, it kind of depends on how many tier 6 tools you're carrying with you. But the tier 3 horse is very cheap. But also really, really easy to kill. You may want to have a better mount depending on how many tools you carry with you. But if you go like some very cheap PvE gear, like 4.1 PvE gear with a tier 3 horse and only one tier 6 tool, it's fine. That's totally legit. Bop, 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 yep. It indicates invisible people. This gear makes no sense. I'm running gear that makes no sense too. Reason is simply I want to level these items. And in the Black Zone, you get much more fame than elsewhere. Yeah, the Black Zone open world mobs give the most fame in the game. But the thing is, there are some items that are really terrible to use for solo fame farming in the open Black Zone because you really want some mobility. And when I say some, I mean a lot of mobility. So basically, some items you really should just not level up when solo, basically. So I kill a mob first, then I gather some resources nearby, and during the time, the cooldowns of my abilities finish. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, that's very efficient. But if you die, then this isn't really efficient anymore. So it's a little bit more complicated in the end, you know? Let's go. How are you not getting ganked? I think this question is a little bit silly. But he just did. Exactly. NPC, I don't know what you mean. You got folded for real. Well, dying in this game is normal. For future, just invis and go inside static. Nobody is gonna risk it. Well, you know, the funny thing is I have videos on YouTube where people are chasing me into static dungeons and kill me there. Any boss maps to be honest, so bad for gatherers for escaping. And the forest boss maps are just so bad, full of jokes like why SBI even makes those maps. I think it's really nice. It's really nice that SBI made such really, really bad solo maps because it's really worth it for groups to go there and fight for it. There will be a lot of very valuable stuff, and it's probably really fun to go into these maps, either with ganking gear or with fighting gear, and then you just bait in those gankers and kill them all. Sounds pretty fun. I was wondering how much will you make till the end of the video, but you died. Well, that can happen. It would be fun to see roads gathering video for a change. In my opinion, there are still lots of resources if you go deep, but not 2 million per hour though. Well, the roads are really, 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 really bad. And the last roads video that I've just made, funnily, shows it again, how terrible the roads of Avalon are for gathering. It's all good. Let's go. We all love the long videos. Thank you. I don't see the connection between Carving Sword and Spectral Direbore spell. Mounts invisibility can help you avoid getting ganked, but when you fail and get dismounted, you're at a high disadvantage. You don't really seem to understand one very important thing here. If you get dismounted by gankers, then you are 90% dead. Like 9 out of 10 times, if you get dismounted by gankers, you are dead. You're just dead. It doesn't matter what spells you have, what cooldowns you have. It doesn't matter. Like 1 out of 10 times, it matters. But 9 out of 10 times, you're just dead. 100% dead. If people actually manage to dismount you, even though you have a Fort Sterling cape and you're mounted and stuff, like, you're just dead. You're just dead. It has a long cooldown which simply disables your boots during escape. You decided to wear a Carving Sword because of the purge immunity. But with disabled boots, you can at best guarantee the invisibility potion won't get purged. The thing for the Carving Sword and the Mining Boot combo is that if I get hit while I'm dismounted, so I actually have a chance to get back onto my mount. And it's the best combination of spells, of items to do that. For example, when gathering a big stack and somebody ganks me with invisibility or something like that. So I have the option to use Iron Will plus boots plus invisibility potion to get back onto my mount. I agree with you 100%. Well, then you don't know too much about getting ganked. Sadly, you died too much in the last videos. Try to swap Fort Sterling Black Zone. Do you think that the Fort Sterling Black Zone is less ganked? And also one thing is I'm going into the middle of the Black Zone, of the complete total Black Zone. Doesn't really matter at which town I start, because I don't die at the town, you know? Your Black Zone adventure nowadays no longer the same as before, where it has less people, less ganker, and you die very unlikely. Very unlikely. Do you mean unlucky or very often? Or I don't 100% know what the rest means. But yeah, there are way more gankers than when I started gathering. That's true. Which is kind of fine. The only annoying thing is that there are no resources. There is nothing for me to gather. That's annoying. I don't care about all the gankers or the competition, even like having other gatherers and stuff like that, but there are no resources for me left. That's annoying. I could not find the name. What do you mean? There was a name. There was a name.
Very quick.
So, but there's also a chest. That's some nice There was a name. Some nice. Yeah, there was in the northwest. There was a name in the northwest. Only for a very short amount of time, but I noticed it. As one gatherer to another, I highly advise you to avoid going through Gulch. It's literally a ganker's paradise. I don't know if I ever died in any Gulch map. I mean, probably because I played this game for forever, but I'm not often dying in these Gulch maps. Love that you are actually and continuing to speak more in videos. I'm not doing it more than I usually do it for months already. It's always good to start the day with a nice and calm 1 hour Apogees video. Thank you. True, but why the video is 720p? I explained that before. Wow. Ah yeah, the I read minds like books thing. You're so fucking awesome. Thanks. Thank. When the roads, how can you tell if it's tier 6 or tier 8 area? Just the color scheme. I look at the level of the random chest mobs that are standing in the brown streets. It doesn't tell me the exact level of the map, but it tells me if it's tier 4 or 5, or tier 6 or 7, or tier 8. You can see that from those mobs. You can tell if it's 6 or 7, you can tell if it's 4 or 5, but at least you know it's 4 or 5, it's 6 or 7, or it's tier 8. That's what you can tell from that. Ooh, Google Translate, Google Translate. Check the level of non-resource mobs. Exactly. Check mobs tier. The mobs also in the road's entrance. One of the rings signifies which tier area it is. That's true. Thank you all for the answer. Roads gathering after months, finally. I thought I was gonna need to wait until Mists update. Well, Mists and Roads of Avalon are not the same thing. There's in every one gathering video. Nice. That's not 100% true. Changing to reflect was a bad idea. I don't think so. Why flame shield? Because first of all, the guy has healing reduction with this Q, which is not a lot. Like the 10% doesn't really matter too much, but it's a tiny point. But also because I don't have any real resistances, and I wanted to use my armor to how do you say that? To reduce the damage of his E. And his E deals a lot of damage. That's why I wanted to use a flame shield. Gives tons of resistances and it takes like 8 seconds or so. Like, it's really good. It's really good. Dude, bad mount, bad set. Nature is good, but those builds you need to kite, use Q like a barrier, not only when it's on top of you, still your set with that Spectre hood won't be no good. You have a mercenary jacket with the second passive, nah. What? Why you use mercenary when you already heal yourself, but you are going to use it, at least fight with the healing element, and on top of everything you have plate boots with the second passive. Like, what the fuck? You already get heals from your stuff, from your jacket. You don't need more soldier boots and you will be out of those situations. Sorry, I like your content, but your poor choices make me IND of mad. You are not this bad. Well, the stuff you're writing doesn't make too much sense, so I don't exactly know how to reply to that. Like, your arguments are kind of weird. Bad mount, the mount doesn't matter in any way for the fight, and the mount is the best, basically, if you want to carry a lot of resources. So, no idea what you mean. Nature is good, yeah, that's true. You need to kite. You cannot kite with a build that doesn't have mobility. So completely, I don't understand. Use the Q like a barrier, yes, and that's exactly also what I said after I lost the fight. Not only when it's on top of you, still your set with that Spectre Hood won't be no good. This build is for killing ancient mobs and aspects. This is not for doing PvP. So you're really not making much sense there. You have a mercenary jacket with a second passive. Why use a mercenary when you already heal yourself? Because I need more heal for ancient mobs. At least fight with the healing element. What? Why? Like, the resistances are really, really good. And I have no other resistances in my kit. I mean, my W gives me a tiny bit of resistance, but only for 4 seconds. Or 3 even, I don't know exactly. And on top of everything, you have plate boots with a second passive. Like, what the fuck? You already get heals from your stuff, from your jacket. You don't need more. Why do I not need more heal? More HP is more HP. Soldier boots and you will be out of those situations. I'm not playing for running away with soldier boots. This build is for killing ancient mobs and aspects. Soldier boots do not make any sense. Sorry, I like your content, but your poor choices make me mad. You are not this bad. This is for aspects Guardian build. It's not bad set, it's just built specifically for killing big resource mobs. Exactly. To be honest, sir, though, it was Battle Axe. That means melee DPS. You could use the heals of Mercenary because he had no purge. Well, I can also use a Flame Shield because he has no purge. So also if he wants to deal damage, he needs to stay close, and if he stay close, you can auto attack him for heals, and you had double Mercenary. Just my opinion, sir. Maybe you thought in different way. Yeah, I wanted the flame shield for the resistances. Because if I have more resistances, I can also heal myself more. And have more benefit from having more HP. Because I have healing spells. Felt your pain, you should spec up that nature stuff. Seeing it barely heal you hurt my eyes. I mean, I don't know in which situations you play the in nature stuff, but I don't have a cloth armor, so I don't have the plus 50% heal. And I also have way more HP because I'm using leather stuff. So that's also a factor why my spells do not heal me as much. But of course, backing it up would help as well. I'm pretty sure you can run this build with miner boots. Yes, I can, but it's worse for killing aspects and ancient mobs. And also, what's the point of using miner boots? Like, from who do I have to run away? I don't run from people. I just stand there and kill ancient mobs and aspects. That's what I do. I don't run away with this build. Also, this build is not really good for running away either. Like, nothing synergizes with running away, and I cannot do anything before running away, where I need the mining boots, where I need the running away in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Like, that simply doesn't make sense to use them unless you feel like you will get into situations where you have to have such a crazy escape ability. Dead again, yup. That was costly. That's right. You guys sure like this road. Yeah, I mean, it's a good road for what we are doing there. And the main reason why we're not using other roads that are just as good is because we don't have a scout in the other roads. Otherwise, we would also use different ones. But with the coming update, with the coming new crazy Albion update, scouts will get much worse, which is really nice, actually. Which is actually really nice. Gucci death. Yep. Black screen and random lockouts have been happening often last couple weeks. It's been happening to many of my guild mates. Hope SBI fixes soon. Well, it only happened to me that one day. Otherwise, I didn't have any problems with that. No, not the 8.3 gear. Can happen. Can happen. And also, if we played better, it would not have happened. And we would have gotten a lot of money. Yo, it's 7:40 in the 21st of October, 21st October. And there is no video. Please feed my abstinence. Well, I didn't have too much time that week to make enough videos. You died, I also killed you once. Okay. Oh, I watched this one. Yeah, that's from the Solo Gathering Black Zone 50 or 48 video. I think there was a detour in the tier 4 dungeon before you turned to the Fame Shrine. Might have been a legendary chest. I already saw this comment before and I looked at the video and no, it wasn't. It wasn't. You can see some like wood on the wall that's in the way, which shows that there was no other way. But I know what you mean, the legendary pathway in the mining dungeon, where you are basically coming from this angle, and then there are two ways that you can go that indicates a legendary chest, but that wasn't the case in that one. That's German. Die Köter am Anfang hatten Eier flattern. Sehe ich genauso, die Lappen. This means in English, these guys were scared in the beginning. And I agree. Let's translate that. Are you gay? No. Are you gay? Let's go a long, enjoyable video. Let's go. Do you usually plan your route before the trip? I wanna copy your route and see how much I can earn. My spec is much lower, but if I could earn half as yours, I'm already very satisfied. I sadly have to say that I didn't get much loot in the last two gathering runs that I had this weekend. I don't know if you want to copy my route, because right now it doesn't seem to be very good. I don't really plan the trip too much. I just kind of remember, okay, this way was pretty good, so I will probably go the same way, because you don't really have too many options, unless you want to have a lot of dead maps in between, which you don't. I have one question. When you finish your gathering session, how do you make money? You sell them in the market? And thank you, excited for the next one. I sell it at the market. Can you give me the ranking of each type of resource and value, like height first, then ore, maybe? It's a tiny bit more complicated, because some resources that are enchanted are more valuable than others that are enchanted, while the flat resources are different, where it's like the opposite. In general, you should just go to your market, look at all the resource prices, and then you know what resource is worth more. Also, it depends on where you want to sell it, because the prices from the markets are also different. Google Translate. Leather, cotton, ore, wood, and stone. Yeah, pretty much true in a way. Like, wood and stone are pretty weird, and enchanted ore is better than better than fiber. It's kind of weird. It's generally, you should just look at the market, to be honest. Congrats on returning safely after a long absence. Anything new? Yes, tier 6 prices are getting better a little bit now, going from 700-ish to 800-ish. Well, 700 or 800, it's both really bad. It's really bad for the profit per time. It has to go up a little bit more, quite a bit more. for gathering tier 6 resources to be worth it again. Also, I would need to find more tier 6 resources. I'm really not finding enough of those additionally. Okay, this is it.